Welcome to BOJTV Trending News for top stories in local, regional and international news, along with the sports and the local weather forecast. I'm Carla. Coming up in our local trending news. The St. James Police have arrested and charged a couple with the murder of a mentally challenged man. School principal still at hospital after being attacked and stabbed by armed robbers in St. Anne. Manchester Municipal Corporation trial continues, and Sexu investigates alleged sexual assault involving policemen. Now the news in detail. The St. James Police have now charged a couple with the murder of a man committed on Saturday, June 1 at Hendon, Norwood. 42-year-old Ian White, a baker, and his wife Chevelle White, 27 years old cosmetologists, both of Hendon, Norwood, have been charged with the murder of Jermaine Oliver Street. Reports are that Street, who is mentally challenged, went next door to the home of the couple in Norwood and damaged a section of their house. Both accused allegedly went inside Street's yard, and during an argument he was chopped to death. The principal of the St. Hilda's High School for Girls in Brownstown, St. Anne, Heather Reed Johnson, is presently nursing stab wounds at hospital after she was attacked and stabbed last night by an armed robber. Reports are that about 7 p.m, the principal, who resides in a section of the compound, was on her way to her cottage when she was pounced upon by a man armed with a knife. The principal resisted and she was stabbed in the regions of her arm. The robber made off with her personal belongings. The police were summoned and the wounded principal taken to hospital, where she was treated. The decomposing body of an unidentified male was discovered stuffed in a barrel at a section of the upscale Westgate Hills community in Montego Bay, St. James yesterday. Reports by the Mount Salem police are that about 1:15 p.m, residents living at a section of Westgate Hills, known as Mountain Dew Avenue, stumbled upon the body and summoned the police. Upon their arrival, the body was discovered in a vast state of decomposition, stuffed in a plastic barrel. The body was removed to the morgue for post-mortem examination. The Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences is now probing 2 separate incidents in which policemen are alleged to have breached the Sexual Offences Act. The 2 incidents are alleged to have occurred on Monday, June 17 and Thursday, June 20, involving one policeman attached to Kingston Western Division and another to the Hanover Division, respectively. They are scheduled to be interviewed by Sexu detectives today. The Inspectorate of Constabulary has also launched a probe. Cross-examination of the Manchester Municipal Corporation multi-million-dollar fraud on Thursday revealed that one of the witnesses intentionally misinformed investigators during the probe of allegations of misappropriations of funds that started in 2016. A young woman who said she's a friend of accused Sanjay Elliott told one of the defense attorneys, Norman Godfrey, and the prosecution that some of the information given in a statement to the police was inaccurate because she was following the instructions of Mr. Elliott. Elliott is the former deputy superintendent of road and works at the municipal corporation and one of 8 accused on trial. There were reports of the witness stating that she had at times hired men to do work in capacity as a contractor for the corporation. When asked whether specific sections of the report he brought to her attention are true or not, her frequent responses was, "No, it's not." The court heard of workmen she claimed to employ but did not, payments to them that were never made, invoices given the impression that she had a water truck or facilitated water delivery in the parish as a municipal corporation contractor, and that was not the case. The witness told Mr. Godfrey that she gave inaccurate information in sections of the report to the police, though signing the statement that it was true and correct. She disclosed that Elliott had told her about a month prior to her giving the statement that if anyone asked about her role with the corporation, she should say she did beautification work and was employed as a contractor. And those were the top stories making the local trending news. Now join us for news from across the region, as well as our international story, sports and local weather forecast. From across the region, the United Nations top human rights official is preparing to hold separate meetings in Caracas with Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido and President Nicolas Maduro. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, today will speak with Guaido at the opposition-controlled National Assembly before seeing Maduro later this evening. The talks comes as both men engaged in a prolonged power struggle for control of the crisis-wrecked country. Guaido has failed to seize power 5 months after launching a campaign to oust Maduro. Maduro maintains that his rival's efforts have been part of a U.S.-backed coup. Opposition leaders say they will hold protests throughout today to draw attention to the government's human rights record. Bachelet is on her first visit to Venezuela as head of the UN watchdog. In international news, President Donald Trump said today the U.S. was cocked and loaded to retaliate against Iran for downing an unmanned American surveillance drone, but he cancelled the strikes 10 minutes before they were to be launched after being told 150 people could die. Trump's tweeted statement raised several questions, including how he could have learned about casualties only minutes before the operation, when that information typically would be provided much earlier. His tweet was the latest indication that he does not want to escalate the U.S. clash with Tehran, though he didn't rule out future strikes. He said U.S. economic sanctions are crippling the Iranian economy. More are being added, and he insisted anew that the U.S. would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. In our sporting news, Shelley-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Elaine Thompson and Brianna Williams all easily advanced to today's semi-final of the 100 meters at the Supreme Ventures JAAA National Championships at the National Stadium in Kingston on Thursday. All three ladies won their respective heats, as did Natalia White, but it was Fraser-Pryce, the three-time world 100-meter champion, who was most impressive, jogging her way to the 11.08 seconds, clocking the fastest time of all the competitors. Keon Evans, 11.30, and Simone Facey 11.38 also advanced. Brianna Williams won the third heat in the second fastest time for 11.20 and said she was excited and could not wait to run. Natasha Morrison was second in that heat in 11.40, while Sasha Lee Forbes was third in 11.61. Elaine Thompson also easily won her heat in 11.31 seconds, ahead of Shalona Calvert-Powell 11.35 and Ramona Burchell 11.44. White was also a comfortable winner of her heat, dismissing the field in 11.32 seconds, and was well clear of Janelle Smith 11.57 and Shaveen Hodges 11.69. Now for your local weather forecast. Insignificant feature a high-pressure ridge across Jamaica and the northern Caribbean. Additionally, there is a low-level jet stream across the central Caribbean. The high-pressure ridge and low-level jet stream remains across Jamaica for the next few days. Windy condition persists across the island, especially along southern coastal areas. Expect hazy conditions as well. The forecast for tonight will see mainly fair skies, windy along southern coastal areas. Tomorrow morning, mainly sunny and windy and hazy. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy across hilly inland areas, otherwise sunny, windy and hazy. Minimum temperature expected for Kingston as well as Montego Bay tonight is 27 degrees Celsius. That was BOJTV's Trending News, your top local, regional and international stories, as well as sports report and weather forecast. Until next time, I'm Carla. Thanks for watching.